Howdy and hello, my name is Doe, hope you're doing good, and with the recent changes to lanterns and cells, lanterns are now so strong you can make it so your build uses only lanterns and nothing else, and it'll be very viable and powerful. Won't be the strongest thing ever, but it will kill behemoths in a relatively quick fashion. So to do this, you have to have at the bare minimum 4 lantern cells. Etheric Attunement, Etheric Evasion, Catalyst, and Zeal are the main 4. If you want to go for a lantern only kind of build playstyle, you also want to have Lucent for that little bit of added spice. So these are the cells that will affect it the most. Basically nothing else will increase your damage for your lantern at the moment, so that's going to be the main focus. This is the build I used to clear shock escalation 10 through 50 in less than 7 minutes using my lantern only. I did use my Discipline Omni cell, but I view that as the instant cast for lanterns. That's just my viewpoint. View it however you want to. And to further explain how these builds work, I'm going to go ahead and swap to a beginner version of this build I would suggest using. So if you're just starting out making this build, I would use the Thunderdeep Drask weapon. Whatever you choose, it does not matter. The cell slots are the exact same and the stat is the exact same. But for your headpiece, chest piece, gloves, and feet, I would use Riftstalker, Thunderdeep Drask, Nizyga, and Thunderdeep Drask. This will not give you the perfect cell economy, but there is no solution to that with your gear. To get this, you have to change your weapon. But I'm assuming y'all don't really have access to the best cells. So in that case, go ahead and slap in whatever you need to achieve the 4 main cells. These cells are the best for lanterns since Etheric Attunement recharges your lantern 50% faster. Etheric Evasion on every single dodge recharges it 35% faster. Catalyst increases tonic effectiveness and duration, and that applies to Aether Drive, which reduces the cooldown of your lantern by 125% for 75 seconds. And Zeal will increase the damage of your lantern by 65%. Now, this build can have Lucent. Your flask heals over 20 seconds, but for 20% more healing, and while it's active, increase the recharge rate of your lantern ability by 50%. So it is very nice if you're going for a full-on mage build. But you'll only have +3, so to make that a bit better, we're going to go ahead and change our headpiece to Torgadero, and add in Lucent there, and change around a couple other things. So as soon as I find it, I'm kind of blind. We have Zeal on our chest piece. Change that to whatever we're missing. In this case, Etheric Attunement. But actually, I'm going to do another change, so I'm going to go ahead and not do that real quick. Lucent right there. And as far as your weapon goes, use anything that has Etheric Attunement, so like Drask basically, or any weapon that has a utility slot. Now, honestly, I do suggest unlocking legendary weapons to use their abilities, and then using the bond from any weapon you want to, while also having prismatic cell slots. Use whatever you want to, basically. Now, that will mean on certain weapons you won't have the best perk eco, but you're just losing like basically 1 cell. So for instance, Sharpen does nothing for my build, Knockout King does nothing, and Bladestorm does nothing. So just saying, those are the options you really have, and that's what I suggest for a pseudo beginner build. Now, if you want sort of a really, I guess, high tier version of this build, I'm gonna go ahead and change my weapon to being Malkarian, because that's how you get the best perk eco for this kind of thing, since you have Etheric Attunement on the weapon. So AA, and then we'll go ahead and equip some of this Etheric Evasion. And if I'm doing Heroic Escalation, this would be my build. I'm pretty sure. Because I'm assuming I might get hit, and Parasitic would hopefully keep me alive. I'd probably change from Discipline to like Iceborne or whatever I feel like using. And I would also suggest taking into consideration what kind of environment you're playing in. You're playing with good teammates, bad teammates. Do you want to give your teammates attack speed? Things like that, because you can bring Conduit and you can bring Medic. You can basically ditch Lucent because it's nice, but it's kind of a hassle to make use of, so it's not exactly super ideal most of the time. So you can definitely tailor your build to make it to where you have room for that kind of stuff. So in this case, if I want to bring Medic and Conduit to be nice to my teammates or what have you, I would use Malkarian weapons, which I can't really think right now because I'm trying to talk and do all this stuff. But find that. Swap this right here, probably for Medic. Probably put Medic right here. And you can do more than this, right? You can have fleet-footed, you can have agility. It just depends on what you're doing, what you're trying to accomplish with your own builds. But this is just one of the things that you could do just to be the nice guy. Look at how many freaking utility cells we have. I count Etheric Evasion as utility cell, even though it's technique, just because it focuses on Lantern, which those were almost all utility cells before. I can't read. I can read. Let's go. So this is yet another option. That's what I do here, folks. I provide y'all with options, okay? but this time I'm not. You better like the video or else, okay? Not an option. Yeah, I think the builds for here... What? I think that these builds are fun because it just provides a different playstyle. These lantern builds are fantastic for learning to dodge in Dauntless because you're just focusing on dodging in the first place. There's no swinging weapons, there's no animation lock. So if you want to learn how to dodge better in Dauntless, then these are great options. If you just want to have fun, that works too. I have a pretty good time. I think that they're actually really good and really enjoyable in escalations. It's a great time. And again, there's no animation lock, so you get to avoid a lot of the shenanigans that can ensue. On top of the build, you have options in terms of what lantern you use. Drask is my suggestion for a lot of things, but there's more things you can use that are fun. Broadsides, Embermane's Rapture, Koshai's Bloom, just teleporting everywhere, freaking being ridiculous. Hangar's Shine, you can be like a freaking Ice Mage. Shrike's Zeal is a Monk W. Do not use that. I wouldn't suggest that. Like, it's not good. Skarn's Defiance is okay, but not ideal. And Recruit Lantern is a come on, bruh. Imagine if the freaking the shield stack though. That could be somewhat cool. If you could stack the shield and get like 1200 shields from just a Recruit Lantern in like less than 15 seconds, that could be sick for Bastion. But of course, cool things can't happen sometimes, right, Phoenix Labs? Sag. I really hope that they add more lanterns because that would make it just 10 times more enjoyable. And maybe even add a freaking magic weapon. Well, like maybe like a weapon that focuses on making lanterns better, and then maybe later an actual magic weapon. Who knows? But that'd be so dope just to have a weapon that like augments the way your lanterns work and makes them do some crazy stuff. Like off the top of my head, I have no idea. Airman's Rapture is a freaking supernova or something. Maybe a Pangar's Lantern, when you create the ice spikes, you can hit them and they launch towards behemoths, like when you hit back Flameborn Cool Shot spikes. Just cool stuff like that could be sick. Maybe even a cell that does that. Who knows? Like a +6 cell that makes it so your lanterns are augmented in some way or capacity. But yeah, so all I want to say is I appreciate y'all watching this video. All the videos has been very, very kind to y'all. I appreciate the support recently, and actually always. But that's the video, folks. Hopefully you liked it. If you did, be sure to like it, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and let me know in the comments below which behemoth you want to see a lantern from next. I'm assuming it's going to be like a lot of Shrouds and Rosakiris, but let me know which one you want to see next, because hopefully we get some more in the future. They are dope, and I like the ones we have now. And I think that they can do a lot better job with the new ones. But now it's time for the sellout portion. I do have a credit code. It's OhDough. Use that in the Epic Game Store or the in-game Dauntless Store. Helps me out a freaking ton. I stream at twitch.tv/OhDough, and I have a separate TikTok and YouTube channel at OhDoughless. Other than that, I appreciate y'all watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.